Hey, what's up, guys? This is going to be a quick video. It's going to be on racism and how I see it, how it relates to women and how they feel about it and how it relates to the men they date. Now, it's no, we all know that according to dating studies and, Tinder studies and OkCupid, that majority of women go towards Caucasian men, and the least desired groups are generally Asians, South and East Asians. Now, it's amazing today what I experienced. I met these two girls at this pizza place. Conversation was decent. We weren't exactly, flirting or anything, but I was talking with these two girls, and out of nowhere, these two girls were very pretty, by the way. One was kind of paler skin with very nice red lipstick, really pretty blue eyes with brunette. She was kind of tall, and then the other one was a blonde on my left. And as I'm talking to these two girls, and I'm trying to, the one on the right, the brunette one, was the one that was attracting me, and I was trying to get her number or something. I was trying to do something there. So I was talking to both of them, and it's amazing. They were both actually very open at first, right? And then out of nowhere, this short, chubby Latino girl comes up, and for some reason I could tell that she didn't like me. Something was wrong, right? And she was acting almost like she was drunk or very, very upset. I don't know where the upsetness was coming from. And then she told me that I stole from her store. And I was like, I stole from your store? What are you talking about? And I knew that was not true, because I know I did not steal from any store. But she basically said that I did. And she told them, she's like, you have some confidence to, be in the same area that you stole from. It was like a supermarket or whatever. She said that apparently that I stole groceries or some shit. I don't know what she was coming up with, but she looked like she was on drugs or something. But then I actually remembered her. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this store I was in. I was getting nutritional yeast, etc. Right? And so I remember the store, and I remember being there. And then I told her, I've been going there to get groceries for years. I did not steal anything from your store. And she did it very blatantly, but again, she did it because she wanted to ruin my my interaction with the two very pretty girls, right? She was this unattractive girl who's probably upset that guys don't hit on her. Let's keep in mind, I was also looking pretty good when I went out. I was wearing a tight shirt, and my muscles were kind of popping out because I've been working out, and I was looking pretty lean, and I was dressed stylishly and everything. So I was looking pretty good. I was getting eyed by women when I was walking around. And this girl, this Mexican chick, she probably, this Latino, I don't know if she's Mexican, but Latino. She was probably, now a lot of girls carry this. You should look up some of the videos and conversations women have about how, if they're, Latino or brunettes or whatever, how how they are disappointed that guys generally choose blonde girls over them. There's a lot of girls who have this sort of discontent about that. Now, so this girl who came up, she was number one frustrated because when I did ask her, I asked this lady where the nutritional yeast was in the market. And she told me that we don't have any left. I was like, all right. But when I remember when I talked to her and asked her, I completely thought nothing of her because I wasn't attracted to her. So I was not giving her any flirtatious vibes or interacting with her longer than she wanted to. She was being real nice to me because she was attracted to me in the grocery store. And then, then the next day I'm talking to these two girls that I'm actually interested in. I'm showing them, I'm smiling. I'm being as charismatic as I can. I'm actually trying to interest them. And then she comes up and she's angry because I didn't do that at all with her, and that I'm doing it with these other two girls. And her her self-esteem or ego got hurt. So she started trying to make me look bad in front of those two girls. She started saying, she started telling me that I stole from her store, and and then I pretty much confronted her. I was like, "What are you talking about? I've never stolen from your store, etc." Blah blah blah. And I confronted her about it. I was like, "What are you talking about? Why are you saying this?" Blah blah blah. And then she starts walking away, and she says, "You totally did. You got some balls." And as she's walking away, she says, "F you, by the way." And then she walked away. So this girl was, and by the way, this store is not like a small mom and pop type store. It's a big supermarket. She's an employee at a big supermarket. She has never met the owner, I guarantee you. She has no idea anything about the financial status of that market and etc. She's just a basic checkout employee. That's what she is. And so she has the real anger, the real emotion that was negative that came out of her. The reason she was angry was because I wasn't paying her attention at the store, and now she sees me flirting with these two beautiful girls, the next day. So she remembered me. And that's amazing. But this is not the only time this happened. So the weekend before, now keep in mind, guys, I've been looks maxing, I've been improving my physical appearance, and yes, it is equated in me getting a lot more female attention because I've been doing it, okay? I made a separate video on that subject earlier. You guys could check out looks maxing progress, the things that I'm doing. Pretty much I'm doing the same stuff. I'm just doing it 100%. But anyways, now here's another incident that happened last weekend. This happened twice, okay? Whenever you have a couple of two girls and they both think you're attractive, I noticed this, the lesser attractive girl will try her hardest to dominate the conversation. And then the prettier girl will kind of be like in the back. Because the lesser attractive girls, I feel bad. Like, I feel for them, man. I feel for the girls. I don't like them. I don't want them their feelings to be hurt and depressed that, their friend always gets chosen before them. But one time I was in, I was in the west, I was in the financial district of the city. And, hold on one sec. Sorry, guys. Just making some food. Hold on. All right. There we go. Stir fry. Good. Excellent. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Some real stir fry. I'm just kidding. All right. All right. So one time I was in the financial district of the city, and I was in the train, at the train station there, and I see these two girls. One was very pretty, bluish eyes with like nice hair and like big boobs. She had some big boobs, man, and she was cute too. She was like in her early 20s kind of look, and so I saw her and I was interested. Her friend was a overweight black chick, right? African American overweight girl. She was an African American. She was African Swiss. She's from Switzerland, but she was overweight, right? She looked like she was like her pot belly was coming out. But she's with her really pretty friend, right? And it's interesting. A lot of times, because I'm kind of more on the darker side, a lot of women will. I've had a lot of like African or like Latino girls hate me because I've had girlfriends that are white or blonde or whatever, right? And I've had them treat me pretty badly. And I think black men get the same thing. Like if they're dating a white girl, the black women hate that guy. They like don't like the guy dating a white girl, right? So I get the same thing. It's stupid. I guess it's like a female instinct thing. I don't know what it is, but it's hitting women's ego, right? But anyways. So I meet these two girls. They're both from Switzerland. One is a beautiful, in shape, big boobed girl with pretty blue eyes and nice hair and everything. And the other is an overweight African chick. And they're both friends. And they're both in the city together. And so here's the funny part. So as soon as I started talking to them, the African girl comes up and she's like really loud and like trying to speak to me, and like every time I say something I'm like looking at the other girl and I'm like giving indicators that I'm interested in her, and but she keeps like kind of yelling and raising her voice as we're talking. So like I pretty much tell him, oh, I'm an artist, I do this and that, and then the pretty girl, she got excited by it and she said, oh, that's cool, like what do you do, blah blah blah. And I explained to them, and then the African girl, she starts saying, she starts cutting in every single time I'm trying to speak, and she starts trying to get me to focus on her. And then the last moment where I'm like, definitely when I perform or something, you guys should definitely come. And I was kind of annoyed because she kept cutting me off. And as I hand over my phone, they were like both like, yeah, sure. And as I hand over my phone, she like comes in and she like tries to swoop and grab my phone. She does, she grabs my phone, she puts her number in. And then I was like, yeah. And then I was like, all right, yeah, I'll give you a text. And then I look at her friend. I was like, I give her my phone. I'm like, definitely I'll give you a text as well. The pretty girl put her phone number, and then the other one looked real disappointed. She looked like really upset about how I got her friend's number, and she didn't want that, I guess. So that's one example of something like that happening. And then there's another one. Okay, this time this was like a Saturday night. People are drunk, etc. I met a very pretty girl. Now on Saturday nights, man, when you're in a big city, you can meet so many girls and they won't remember you the next day, And even if they do, they'll remember you as the guy that they met Saturday night when they were drunk, blah, blah, blah. So and then they get back to their senses and they're like, oh, wait, I have a boyfriend. I have this and that. I have a job. I have this. I don't have time for that. Anyways, you could do a lot of stuff on a Saturday night, but they won't remember you the next day a lot of the time. Even if you're super charming, super attractive, maybe if you're a super, giga chad, they will remember you, but a lot of times they just don't. They brush off the guys that they meet on a Saturday night. Anyways, I was walking in this area, and I'm crossing the street, and this really attractive girl, she had beautiful blonde hair, curly blonde hair, very pretty face, and really nice ass. Her ass was fantastic. She was wearing these like sweatpants, but her ass was just like popping out of them. It was incredible. So she was with her friend, her friend was, let's call this girl an 8, the one that I saw, and then her friend next to her, let's say, was a 4 or 5. She was still decently attractive. Most guys would still want to sleep with her, but she was not at the same level as her friend. So as soon as I start talking to them, again, I was wearing a tight shirt. I was wearing, my muscles were kind of popping out, so I was looking decently attractive. And as soon as I start talking, the lesser attractive girl comes up and she starts dominating the conversation again. She starts saying, "Where do you need to go?" I asked them for directions, and they were like, "Where do you need to go?" She was like, "Where do you need to go?" I was like, "I'm trying to go to this place, blah, blah, blah. Do you know how to get here?" And then she's like, again, she's like not letting me talk to her friend. I'm making eye contact with her pretty friend, and she's like trying to deflect the whole situation. So she starts giving me the directions. She's telling me this is where it is, blah, blah, blah. That's where it is. And then as soon as I'm done, I start talking to her friend. And I tell her, like, I just told her directly, like, you're really attractive. Like, are you from New York, blah, blah, blah. And then I pretty much say to her pretty friend, I was like, I would love to get a coffee with you. I think you're really beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And then she says, yeah, okay. And she's giving me, I pull up my phone and she starts putting her number on my phone. And then her unattractive friend starts grabbing her and saying, we have to go. Sorry, we don't actually give out numbers. And then her pretty friend was like, no, I actually like him. I want to see him again. Like, she didn't say that, but she was just like, no, I want to give him my number. She pretty much told her friend that. And her friend looked so upset about that. She was trying to deflect the situation because, if she did not want to... She didn't like the fact that I thought her friend was prettier, and she didn't like the fact that I chose her friend over her. So it's an insecurity. So you'll have this thing happen a lot. In a racial way, it happens a lot with races. Man, it happens a lot with races, okay? That's why I say I think the best time to meet women is when they're not feeling, judged or around other women. Like women, insecure people, not just women, but insecure people will ruin a lot of good things for you in life. Insecure people, they if you have a guy, for instance, who's envious that you are meeting a girl, let's say you're talking to a very pretty girl, and she gives you your number, and it's a great conversation, but out of the corner of your eye, you see this like insecure guy staring, and he's like, he doesn't like the fact that you are communicating with this girl and that you're having a good flirt, you're flirting with her well. Now, that guy, this has happened, stuff like this has happened to me before. So I leave the girl, and that insecure guy will walk up to her and start trying to destroy any sort of connection you have with a girl. He will say stuff like, "Oh, you're like the seventh girl this guy has been talking to. He's like he's a creep. He's a this and that." The insecure guy will do that. A lot of them will do stuff like that. So generally, when you do communicate and deal with women, I always prefer to be just me and the girl. You don't want to make it like a scary. You don't want to meet some girl in the back alley of some place, but like if there's a coffee store or something, and like you run into her, if she's with her friends, it's going to be different than if she's alone. And when she's alone, she's going to be a lot less socially, nervous or socially influenced. Hold on one sec. I have to had to sneeze. I'm sorry. She'll be less socially influenced, and provided be an attractive guy. So do your best, look your best, and have your best style to you. And generally she will be delighted to communicate with you if she finds you attractive or interesting, right? So that is my statement on race. What else? Man, it's happened a lot. I've noticed racial things are such a factor. I've noticed that there's so many, there's complex reasons. There's simple reasons behind complex behaviors. For instance, like the girl coming up to me out of nowhere and telling me, while I'm talking to these two girls, that I stole from her store, and she's angry about it. That's complex. I was first thinking, oh, maybe it's because she really was upset that she thought that I stole from her store. But then I remembered, like, why would she think that? I never stole anything. I've been going there for years. Why would she think that? I never had any sign that I stole anything from that store. And but then I realized, okay, she's doing that. That's a lie in order to ruin my communication with these other two girls that I've been speaking to. And she's doing that because she feels angry that I didn't pay her attention the day before. And she's also carrying the reason of, like, she also probably feels her ego is also probably hurt because she doesn't feel as attractive as these girls or desirable as these girls that I'm talking to. So she did that. Anyways, that's that. And hope you guys learned something. Also, I'll tell you something else about racism. And it's good to be aware of these things, because if you have those characteristics in you, and if you're aware of them, it actually kind of, it helps you step away from their control, right? So here's another example. I was reading a book in evolutionary psychology that talked about how, like, envy is greatest among people who are similar in certain ways, right? Like if you have a friend who's very similar to you, you guys are from the same area, you look the same, blah, 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 you have the same, style to you, you will generally, let's say that person becomes very successful and meets a very beautiful girl. Somehow when you're at a party, girls go towards him and not towards you. If he's similar to you in certain ways, it will make you feel envious. And I guess envy had an evolutionary reason, because it made you want to outdo the other person, to take what that person has or to get more than that person has. So it had evolutionary reasons, and maybe they were beneficial in a lot of ways. But sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I don't know what I'm talking about. I have to go eat. But I hope that talk gave some insight. Just be aware of the girls and their friends. It's unfortunate because girls will really listen to their friends and follow their friends' thinking. And a lot of times their friends' thinking is not for the benefit of them or for the guy. It's because their thinking and their opinions come out of insecurity and feelings of inadequacy and wanting to stop another person's success because they feel like they cannot attain it. So they would prefer to bring someone else down than try to attain it because they don't believe they can. Something like that. Anyways, I'm out. I hope you guys took some information from that. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.